Hi, everybody. Welcome to the KC CHIROPulse podcast brought to you by CATS Consultants, helping chiropractors keep their pulse on success. I'm Dr. Michael Perusich, and once again, I'm joined by Marisa Mateja, our Chief Operating Officer, and as we call her, the CA Ninja. So, Marisa, I'm going to kick us off here because I really want to talk about this topic, and this is my topic. We created in our clinic, we created such an amazing team. I mean, so amazing that many of us worked together for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And we just got better and better and better. We were so highly engaged. But how did that happen? How did we physically make that happen?
Well, I will say it doesn't happen by happenstance.
Yeah, that's true.
It's definitely not something that just, all of a sudden fell in our laps. We worked at it. I mean, we put the effort and the work into it every single day, really. So one big thing I think we did was we balanced our team. And what I mean by that
that's a good
is
point.
we really worked hard to think about the roles in the office and who needed to fill those roles, and then took it one step further in learning who those personality types needed to be, I guess. For instance, if you were a front desk person, in my opinion, you needed to be a little more direct, maybe, to be able to handle insurance conversations, money conversations, those kind of things. And obviously no poverty complex.
Right.
You had to be able to really talk to a patient about the money aspect of things.
And do it with a smile and personality too, because you're also building relationships in that position.
You absolutely are. Versus maybe a therapy person that maybe needed a little more compassion in their approach to things. So not that your finance person doesn't, because they do too. But the compassion side of everything is really helping that patient along that pain journey, or really helping them to build a relationship with our office, to be able to hear what they're saying and pull out of them maybe other issues that they're having, so that we can help them on a full body scope, if you will.
Right.
So I think a balanced team, and not only personality styles, but then once you have everybody in there, we also learned your communication style. And that's something a lot of people forget about. It is their communication style. So all of us have a different way of communicating. I'll give an example. I'm a pretty fast thinker and responder to things. So my brain is constantly moving, I guess you would say, on what's that next step or what's that next solution to something. Where somebody else that I worked with was a processor, I would call her. She had to really take the information in, really process it before she responded, and really thought hard about what she needed to say. Where I was more of a, I'm making decisions quickly as the office manager. You kind of have to be able to think on your feet and move quickly. But we were in two different roles. She did a lot more of the marketing and those kind of things, and I'll let you figure out who I was talking about there. But she was good at that creative side of things because she was a processor and a thinker and a planner outer type person. So different roles, different communication styles, personalities. I think all of those kind of things play into a well-balanced team, which helped our success for sure.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. It's kind of making sure you're hiring the right person for the right position. Somebody who is very numbers driven and kind of quiet and reserved probably isn't going to do real well at the front desk. That might be a great person in billing and insurance, for example. So yeah, you got to make sure that you're not putting a square peg in a round hole sometimes. The other thing that I think we were very intentional about was training. And we spent an enormous amount of time on training and team building.
This is one of my favorite sayings is learning is optional.
Yeah.
And, so if you take that and you really think through that, we didn't make it optional. It was, we're all learning together. We're all growing together. That means we did role playing. We practiced when patients weren't in the office to make sure that we knew how to move patients, put them on tables, talk to them. We practiced verbiage. You have to learn along the way. Now, if learning is optional, you have the choice to not train, to not teach, to not practice, all of those things. But, and I'll use one of your analogies for this. If you,
Uh-oh.
I know, right? If you had a football team with a new play and they just implemented it today and they went out and tried to play it, they're probably not going to succeed with it, right? I mean,
Right.
they spend weeks and weeks running those plays to perfect them and to practice them. Well, it's the same thing in your office. I mean, we
Mhm.
spent that time to role play every scenario we could come up with. How would we respond to this?
And we
How are we
did it
going to
as a team.
And we did it as a team. That's right. And, so weekly, we were constantly working towards perfecting patient conversations, making sure that we could, talk to them and make sure that we could build a relationship with them.
Yep. And we spent a lot of time in those team building exercises in the office and even out of the office. We would take
Absolutely.
time to get out of the office and do a team building event. We went to um, what was
The ropes course.
the ropes course. Yeah, we did the ropes course where we thought we were going to kill each other.
I did not like the heights on that one. They had one that you had to stand on a platform and fall backwards into your teammates' hands. They were going to catch you and you were up about 3 or 4 feet off the ground
Yeah.
and they were down on the ground. And I remember shaking like a leaf and I said, I have to go first or I will not do this. And I did it, but it was definitely, one of those things. But I had to trust in the team
Mhm.
that they had my back.
Well, and you may be sitting there listening to this thinking, "Oh, so you just went out and had some fun." Yeah, it was fun, but it was fun together. And that exercise, for example, taught us how to trust each other in a
Yeah,
different form than what we're doing in the office. And
exactly.
it's those kind of things that really pull the team together in a different way than just sticking a training manual in front of them and saying, "Here, learn these in a week." Well,
Right.
I mean, maybe that's the place to start, but training is ongoing and it's
Absolutely.
incredibly important. And it's incredibly important to do it as a team because that's really where you build that longevity and that amazing team spirit, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is a great subject.
It is a great subject. One of my
Yeah.
favorites.
It's yeah, one of mine too. And so if you're listening out there and if you have trouble hanging on to staff, if you don't feel like you hire the right staff, you hire somebody and 2 weeks later it's just not working out, that kind of thing, take a look at how you're hiring. Take a look at how you're building your team. Take a look at those components and maybe think about just taking a different direction. Again, this is where coaching comes in sometimes and really helps. And this is one of the big areas of practice that we really help doctors with is not only making sure you're hiring the right team and going through the interviewing process in a proper way and so forth and vetting them out and getting them on board. But once they're on board, making sure that they're trained, that you're doing the team building aspects and really creating engaged accountability partners with your staff.
Absolutely. So
Yeah,
important.
very. All right, Marissa, another great topic. So thanks everybody for tuning into the KC CHIROPulse podcast brought to you by CATS Consultants, helping you keep your pulse on success. So check us out at catsconsultants.com. And from all of us here at CATS Consultants, stay informed and well adjusted. We'll see you next time.
Bye.